Welcome to Parish and Community. My guest today is Becky McKenna, who is part of the Circle of Creation Committee here at College Church. Hi, Becky.
Hi.
Tell me a little bit about, first in general, how you got connected to College Church.
Well, you had mentioned that before to me, and I think it's 1979.
Wow.
I had graduated from college, and I think my dad might have invited our family to go to Mass at St. Louis U, and I heard the choir.
Mm,
This is probably a common story, but I heard the choir, and I thought, I want to be a part of that.
yeah.
I had just been a part of an a cappella group in college, and I just was wanting to be a part of it. So that began the beginning of very many years at the college church.
And how did you then get involved with the Circle of Creation Committee?
You know, I was trying to remember that as well, and I'm not going to use the right terminology, but those who know me know that that's very common. But I'll talk about it, and those who know will know what I'm referring to. There were many years ago, there was a meeting that we had. It was like a full parish meeting
Mm,
in the lower church, in the ballroom. And in that meeting, there was a decision, and it maybe was because, no, I can't remember. I won't try to recall. But it was about saying, where do we want this parish to go? This is before Dan was pastor. And one of the things that I've always been passionate about is environmental issues,
mm,
sustainability, permaculture, all of that.
mm,
And we were asked to write on Post-it notes some of the things that were important to us.
mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things I wrote on a Post-it note. And there must have been enough people who were saying they were interested that we kind of got together at a table and we started talking about it, and we agreed that we wanted to be able to start something at the college church.
What first got you interested in environmental issues then?
You know, it's just something that has been a part of me. And I went to a college that was in a rural part of Virginia, and I was attracted to it in large part because the campus was this amazing place.
Mm-hmm.
And being in nature is just where I feel closest to God. So I think that that has always just been a part of me. And there's just a core energy in me that says we have to take care of things,
Mm-hmm.
and that we can't deface or use up or contaminate or misappropriate things, that there has to be a justice and a caring that is sustainable for the long term.
Mm, yeah, and what a great place to be thinking about that, but within a faith community as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, so many of these committees that we have and commissions have been impacted this year because of the pandemic, whether it's, how can we meet? Are we meeting via Zoom? How are we doing our activities? What sort of things have you experienced as part of the Circle of Creation Committee this past year in that regard?
Right. And obviously not being able to meet together. Usually people would either go to the earlier 8 o'clock mass or the 10:30 mass, and we would meet after the 10:30 mass in the ballroom. And it was, or we were often in Jesuit Hall on the
Mm,
7th floor. And it was just a natural way for us to connect to each other and be together. We can't do that, of
right,
course. And
right.
then in some ways I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this in COVID. Not having to travel to go someplace is actually can either increase or decrease your
Mm-hmm,
ability, because when you
mm-hmm.
get up and you go, then you know you're going to get there. If you don't have to, things get in the way and home,
Sure.
and whether you
Yeah.
sit
Yeah.
down, and so for some of us, I think it's been hard to actually, because life is happening, a
Yeah.
lot of life is happening, and it's just hard to commit
Yeah.
to getting on screen again. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, just recently, one of the things that we have been seeing from COVID is that a lot of stuff is coming online. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll learn about all kinds of films that are being shown, or talks that are being done, or interviews, or activities. And even though Earth Day this year was not, I never missed one. It was always in Forest Park in front of the pagoda or the Muni
Mm-hmm.
Opera. But it is a place that we were able to come together physically to care about the environment, and we've had to figure out how to do that. So we've been sharing more information from online stuff, but one of the things we learned is that they actually began river cleanups again. And that's something I've been doing for years and years and years. And so a group of us from the Circle of Creation actually got together and we did a cleanup of near the Merrimack River. So that was a treat. And we're going to do another one down by the Mississippi riverfront. And so one of the things we've been trying to do as a group is not to lose our greens corner in the bulletin. And the green corner is a way to not only tell people what's going on, to invite them to be a part of it, but also to educate. One of our mission points in our committee is to educate people about what's going on, and not just locally, but what do you recycle and what don't you recycle, but also opportunities for us to do things actively, whether we're wanting to communicate politically, whether we're wanting to be able to get a small group of people to go do something environmentally, or whether we're just improving the way we live in our own homes. So we did the river cleanup, and I mean, obviously it's being out in nature and river. It didn't matter that we were getting muddy and dirty, but it was fun to be together again. So there's such an excitement that we get to see each other.
That's wonderful. Yeah, because that's that social, you're not just going at us alone. There's a whole group of people who are committed to the mission together, which makes me wonder how can parishioners get more connected to this?
Well, one of the things I have always felt about being interested in environmental issues is the big disconnect between what I'm believing and what are others believing, how I'm choosing to live with reducing my carbon footprint by not using as much electricity or water, and just knowing that I'm probably not that's not common for people. So being able to say, does this sound like you? Are you wanting to be more consistent? Maybe you've lived your life in a very frugal way as far as environmentally, and you pick up trash and that sort of thing. But are you wanting to learn, what more can I do? What more could I learn? And how can I advance this? We know right now, environmental issues are finally being listened to on many fronts. And that wasn't the case for many, many, many years. And unfortunately, it's because it's gotten to such a crisis level. But now more than ever, we don't want to feel like we're one of the few at the college church that care about this. We're hoping to invite people. And so every now and then we get to have, I forget what the name of it is. Again, it's when we get to, it's a kind of a stewardship Sunday, or where we invite people to look at the different committees and commissions. How do you want to get actively involved? Well, we don't get to have that. So it's hard to snag a couple more people, but when people hear about us, I think they're interested. So we definitely want them. There's, I guess the green corner is one way that there are communications. So if people would first begin, look at the green corner. We are really actively renewing information in that to help educate people. So just as they're doing it on their own, they can be doing things differently. But we would love to see more people. Anybody knows, if you're passionate about a particular topic, to meet other people who are passionate is so delightful. And we really help each other because we bring our experiences together. And we've had the animal blessing during
for St. Francis,
the season of creation, and it's across the Grand and Lindell in the sculpture park with the dog park, and we bless all animals. You bring pictures, and we actually snagged students and people who live in the area. Do you want to come and do this? So because we're not together as much, but we are meeting, and people can meet virtually and become a part of this, and we would invite that as much as anybody would have the time to be a part of it, or just to say, tell me when you're getting together and I can do it in this, I can gather you with you in this way.
Yeah, well, I can certainly, when I post this video, I can make sure anybody who wants to be part of it, just shoot me an email at angela@sfxstl.org, and I can forward that on to your committee too, to sure you get connected.
Well, and we're you can imagine the passion around it is wonderful, and we're creative and problem solving and constantly saying, what else could we do? What else? And one of the things we've been working on is to make the college church a sustainable building and a
Yes.
sustainable practices. So when we have
Mm-hmm.
functions with the parish, are we using sustainable materials? And anybody who's been in the ballroom before COVID started knows that the green team was working hard to educate people and to corral new people to come and help. Sorting trash is just such a big part of it. So, that's probably something people remember.
Absolutely. Well,
So we'll look
Becky,
forward
thank
to
you.
having time where we can actually be together. And when we have those
Yeah.
functions again, we want people to help us be more consistent in
Mm-hmm.
all the activities of the college church.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing and the whole committee is doing to help uh, bring that passion forward and invite other people into it. I really appreciate it.
We're happy to do it. We really love it.
Thank
We'd
you.
love to see more people.
We'll get them for you.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you. Thanks so much.